The reason why we are picking 15th chapter as a whole today is because this is Adhik Mas. The ongoing month Vedic calendar is called Adhik Mas. This comes roughly around 2.5 years, once in 2.5 years. So we don't know when we are going to see the next Adhik Mas. We don't know. We don't have any guarantee who is going to live till next Adhik Mas. So whatever few days we have, already we have passed a week or 10 days. So we have 20 more days. So the Acharyas say that we have to study 15th chapter Bhagavad Gita during Adhik Mas. So some people just like to recite the shlokas. That is okay. With the kids, it's very difficult to understand philosophy. So for kids, reading shlokas, okay. But those who are adults or youths, the recommendation is read the shloka and the meaning and understand. Shrinvanti, Gayanti, Grinanti. So Grinanti means to absorb, just like a sponge absorbs the water, and whenever required, the sponge releases the water. So that is the way the devotees are supposed to be. The devotees of Lord Krishna, they hear, they speak, and they absorb. Whatever is being spoken, they hear, and it doesn't go through the other ear. Right? It gets absorbed in the heart. So that happens by repeated hearing. And this Adhik Mas, we have 30 days available. So every day it takes only 10 minutes to read the shloka and translation, whichever language you know. If you know Malayalam, read Malayalam. If you know English, English, Hindi, Telugu, Tamil, whatever language you prefer, that language, if you can just read, know vedabase.com. Take a book. Always Prabhupada wanted to distribute his books. He didn't say, I want to distribute vedabase.com, vedabase.net, Vedabase app, right? But these are very dangerous. We are on a double-edged sword. So as soon as we have a digital app, the problem is we get easily distracted. So having a book is very auspicious. The mobile is not auspicious. Mobile has all kind of junk stuff. So it's good to read a book. Our focus is one pointed, right? Aikantika Harer Bhaktir. That Aikantika starts from reading a book in hand. Those who are blind, they cannot read. Maybe they can listen or audio book or whatever through mobile. But Krishna has given Chakshusha. So this Chakshusha means eyes. We have to convert that as Jnana Chakshusha, or the eyes of knowledge. The knowledge which is backed, the eye is backed by the knowledge. So that will happen when we read Acharya's books. So I recommend everybody every day in next another 20 days more. We have Adhik Mas, so every day spend about 10 minutes. It just take 10 minutes from Shloka 1 to Shloka 20. 20 shlokas, Bhagavad Gita, chapter 15. Deal? All of us? Okay. So the remaining 20 days who have not been reading so far, you have 20 more days. And next Adhik Mas comes only 2.5 years later. And we don't know what will happen. We don't know what will happen next moment, whether we will be there or we'll have a, heart arrest, or I don't know what is the technique, heart attack. There is some technical medical term. So it's better we make use of our intelligence, our speech, right? And read Bhagavad Gita book, not app. So those who have books, what I need help from those who have books is, we will go shloka by shloka, read the meaning, and I'll give a brief explanation of the meaning. We'll move on to the next shloka. And the best way to start with is, if you have Malayalam Bhagavad Gita, you see on your left page, there is a picture. That same picture has been circulated in the WhatsApp group. So, because not every Bhagavad Gita has that picture, for that reason alone, I would prefer if everybody can open their cell phone, and if you are part of the WhatsApp group, you would have got a picture. You can see that picture. We'll go through the picture, then we'll go through the 20 shlokas. We have to stop by 7:10, right? Chaitanya Prabhu, 7:15. So I'll try to stop by 7 so that we can open up for questions. So, everybody got that picture? Okay. Have someone already gone through that picture earlier? Some of you know that picture. Have you contemplated, looked into what is there, and did you map into the shlokas in 15th chapter? So that is what I'm trying to do. I'm also not perfect. So every time I repeat, I get towards perfection. That's what I want you also to help. Like you repeat, you repeat by hearing or speaking, we get our intelligence finer and finer. Like we sharpen our Nataraj pencil, right? We sharpen. Too much sharpening is bad. Right sharpening makes it perfect, fine handwriting. Hopefully, the handwriting of the person is good. Okay, so this picture, if you have Malayalam book, you can look at that left picture. It is black and white. It's not very clear. Um, Otherwise, look at your cell phone for a few minutes only. Okay. So this picture, like I said, it's a semi summary of Bhagavad Gita, chapter 15. What is chapter 15 title? What is the name of that chapter? Purushottama Yoga. That is Sanskrit. What is the meaning in English? Yoga of the Supreme. Yoga means connecting, linking. How to connect with Supreme. And as per Bhagavad Gita, who is the Supreme? Krishna is the Supreme Lord. So how to connect with Krishna? Who is the Supreme? What are the practical ways to connect? The hints are given in this chapter. So we'll go through the picture. Before we go to the picture, two more things I will say. This entire chapter deals with two aspects. Aspect 1, spiritual world, material world. Spiritual world, material world. Aspect 2, what does it deal with? Ishvara and Jiva. So there are 5 topics in Bhagavad Gita. If you take the entire Bhagavad Gita into 18 chapters, that thing is categorized into 5 topics. Each shloka belongs to at least one of these 2 topics. 5 topics. So what are those 5 topics? Anybody wants to volunteer? Raise your hand or you can start telling one topic. Topic number 1, Ishvara. Topic number 2, anybody? Raise your hand. Jiva, 2. Topic number 3? Prakriti. Topic number 4, Mataji? Kala. Kala is? Time. Topic number 5? Again with K. Karma. Ishvara, Jiva, Prakriti, Kala, Karma. Right? Ishvara is Supreme Lord. Jiva is the Samuha or the society of Jivas, all living entities. Anything that can move or anything that has consciousness, that is called Jiva, living entity. That is the second topic, Jiva. Prakriti, Prabhu said, nature. So nature can be spiritual nature or material nature. Here, primarily, it is being spoken largely about material nature. Then Kala, Mataji said Kala, time factor. And Karma. Karma is our activity or prescribed duties. So 5 topics. In these 5 topics, different chapters talk about some of these 5 topics, not all the 5 topics. So this chapter, 15th chapter, talks about 2 categories. That is Ishvara and Jiva. 2 main. So if you look at any shloka, you'll be able to see the connection. Either it is linked to Ishvara or Jiva, living entity. So 5 topics. This chapter is 2 topics. So far clear? And we are talking about 15th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. That is Yoga of Supreme or how to connect to the Supreme. Now we look at the picture. So the picture, you see 2 halves. There is something written called desire in the blue color. There are 2 halves. The top half is spiritual world, where you see Krishna, Radharani, Vrindavan, cows, right? Vrajadham, Vrajabhumi, peacocks, trees, Kalpavriksha trees. All that is top half, spiritual world. Like initially I said, two aspects, spiritual world and material world. Top half is spiritual world, bottom half is material world. Now let's go to the material world. Why there is a difference between spiritual and material? Because we have material desires. Our desires are contaminated. That is why the desire is being written in the border. India-Pakistan Wagah border. Have somebody been to Wagah border? Our Wagah border is between Krishna and us. Wagah border is desire, material desire. So that is why we come to material world. Spiritual world, material world. The reason why we are in material world is because we have material desires. Clear so far? Then going further down, under the desire you see who is sitting in the lotus flower? Brahma. Brahma is sitting. So he is the top of the current universe that we are in. And he is the personified mode of goodness. The topmost material mode of goodness is personified Brahmadeva, Lord Brahma. And where is he sitting? He is sitting on a lotus which is on top of what? Yeah, it is the roots of the banyan tree. Roots of banyan tree going upwards. So before going further down, let me explain one more in context of this picture. Have you seen trees standing near a river bank? Yes, river bank tree we have seen. So what happens when there is a daylight? There is a shadow coming of the tree falling into the water, the river. And we will see the tree upside down. That is called reflection, right? Reflection, if you see straight in the mirror, that is, I don't know how to say, upside side, or not upside, back side you can say, or reverse side. But when the reflection happens downwards, it's upside down, ulta. So the tree is showing us downwards. That is why the roots are upwards. Got it? So we are not gone into shloka. Once we get the whole concept, when we read through the shlokas and translation, we'll start getting the meaning, why this shloka is talking about this picture. So I said mode of goodness personified is Brahma. The roots, he is sitting on top of the roots, inverted banyan tree, and this is a reflection, the reflection of the tree. The original tree is in the spiritual world, Adhyatma Loka, spiritual world. And then what you see? So many branches, right? Other than roots, there's so many branches with leaves going here and there, left and right, intertwined, very complex structure. What does it tell? It talks about the desires we have, right? We have all kinds of desires. They say that the number of desires we have is much greater than the number of waves of the sand particles you can see in the ocean. Can you count the number of sand particles in the ocean? No. Ocean shore, seashore, no, we cannot count. Even more than that is our desires. At one moment, the number of desires that comes into your mind is from past millions of births. Bahunam janmanam ante. Bahunam, millions of births. All that is imprinted in our mind. There is a shloka in 15th chapter that talks about how the mind carries the previous conceptions, misconceptions, and it brings it to the next body. When the death happens, our mind carries these conceptions from our current body to the next body we are going to get. Right? So, these branches, intertwined branches and leaves, it's so complex and it's so dense. Right? Have you anybody gone to Amazon forest? Okay, that's too far. You have gone. Very nice. I have not been. I've been living north of Amazon forest, but I never got a chance to go there. So at least you have gone to Chirapunji, Assam, or some nearby, like Shabarimala, right? As you go interior into the forest, even though it is broad daylight, it becomes very dark. The number of trees, if it is too dense, whatever day or night it may be outside, always it will be dark inside. That is why you see the trees are very, very dense, so it's very dark as you go down. Right? On the border, Vaga border, what we have nice blue color. The mode of goodness is being manifested. As you go down, the mode of ignorance. There are three modes of material nature. What are the three modes? Triguna. Anybody want to volunteer? Mode of goodness, Sattva Guna. Mode of passion, which is Rajoguna. Then last one, Tamoguna, or mode of darkness or ignorance. So mode of goodness, passion and ignorance or darkness. So as we go down further and further in that reflection, what happens? It gets darker and darker. And the forms of living entities that you see at the bottom of the tree is very gross living entities. Any doubt so far? Okay. And what you see, there are some people and some horses and chariot and Ganesh and all that, right? On the first level of the branch in the picture. So those are the controllers of the universe, administrators of the universe, who works under Brahmaji. Just like we have CEO and we have all the vice presidents or executive directors, whatever you want to call. The affairs of the universe have been managed by principal demigods. And these are the principal demigods in that layer, first layer, who are in the mode of goodness, who are being empowered by Brahma and Krishna, who have been created to manage the affairs of the universe. And one more thing, there is something written called liberation. Mukti, moksha. So those who desire for moksha without having a personal conception of God, like God is not a person, God is a bright light, homogeneous light, and we all go and merge into that light. Those people attain that liberation strip you see on the top, not on the top, in the middle. Just at the Vaga border, you will see people who are liberated, muktas. And the affairs of the universe have been controlled by the principal demigods. You will see Ganesha, right? I don't want to spend time each and every demigod. You see Ganesha on the left hand side. There is Indra on top of Airavata. He is having a thunderbolt on his hand. And then you have Suryadev on the rightmost. Etc. And then who else we have in the next level? Below them we have people playing the drums, right? And people who are flying. So what is that? There's a guy on the right who is flying. There's a guy on the left who is playing a drum. And there is a guy sitting in between who is singing. These are Gandharvas, Kinnaras, Charanas. They are the Upadevatas. Upadevatas means those who report to Indra, those who report to the principal Devatas. Those are the Upadevatas. They do the sub-administrative job, not the administrative job like Indra or Chandra or Surya. They are under them. They help Indra, they help Surya Dev, they help Chandra to do their administrative work. So, Gandharvas, Kinnaras, Charanas, those are the next level. And under that, who do we have? People like us, human beings. And human beings, they are also in different people, uncultured people, cultured people, uncultured people. So that's why you see left hand side, there is a forest dweller who is lighting a fire. He is in the forest. Right? They may not be cultured. When I say cultured, are they following Purusharthas, Chatur Purusharthas? Chatur Purushartha means what are the four Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha. Religiosity, economics, economic development, then sense gratification and liberation. So those who are following a particular path in these four aspects, they are called cultured people, Aryans. Aryans are not somebody which our NCRT textbook says who comes from Mughal or what do you call them? Kabul, Tajikistan. That is not what Aryan is. Anybody, anywhere following these four regulative principles of Dharma, Artha, and Kama and Moksha. He may be in Antarctica, he may be in the Arctic, it doesn't matter. If they are following it, they are Aryans. It's not that the people who have come from north or northwest or northeast, they are the Aryans. No. That is not what Vedic definition of Aryan is. Who follow the Dharma, Artha, and Kama and Moksha, they are called Aryans. So that is the level we have. And the other level we have is uncultured people who don't completely follow these Varnashrama Dharma. That is one level we have. And there are four, like I said, Varnashrama. Varnashrama means people who are teachers and people who do administrative work and people who do mercantile work and people who help these three other people. These are the four classes of men we have, or classes of human society. It is not by birth, it is by our nature. What nature we have. Do we have interest in teaching, reading and teaching? Then we fall in the teacher category. If we have interest in defending our country, defending our nation, then we fall in the administrative soldier category. If we have interest in business, startups, economics, then we fall in the mercantile category. We want to do farming, we want to have goshalas, breed animals, not just cows, all types of animals, domicile animals, then we are mercantile. If we don't have interest in any of these three, but we want to have our livelihood and we want to serve the other three people, then we are the fourth class men. So these are the levels that it is being shown at the next level, the fourth level, -4, right? L -4. And then at the bottom, you see only living beings like crawling living beings, all the bottom, all the way down, you see wolf at the right, there is a chameleon, there is a crawling bug. Those are lower beings. They are more in the mode of goodness. Their consciousness is not cultured consciousness. So clear this picture? Spiritual world, material world, mode of goodness, mode of passion, mode of ignorance, going down, species of life, universal administrators, sub-administrators, people who follow Varnashrama Dharma, and then people who are not cultured and who are not people at all, they are animals. This is the hierarchy we have. On the top spiritual world, we have the Supreme, who is Krishna, Radha Krishna. So clear with the picture? Okay, now we will go through each and every verse. So have this picture in mind when we go through verses. Okay, I want somebody, 15th chapter. Okay, 15th chapter, Yoga of the Supreme. So I will read for the quicker passage, I will just read the shloka, if somebody can read the meaning. Okay. Yoga of the Supreme, you can repeat, Sri Bhagavan Vacha, Urdhamula Adhashakha, Ashwattham Prahuravyayam, Chandamsi Yasya Parnani, Yastam Vedasa Vedachet. Okay, somebody want to volunteer? English translation? No purport, just English translation.
Supreme Personality of Godhead said,
Ah,
it said that there is an imperishable tree
ah.
that has its roots upward and its branches down, and whose leaves are the very trees. One who knows this tree is the knower of the Vedas.
Okay, thank you. So, can you now go back to the image and reconcile what is there in the image? Hmm? So, Yoga of the Supreme, Purushottama Yoga. So, there are three Purushottamas in spiritual world. Who are the three Purushottamas? One we have Leela Purushottama. Who is Leela Purushottama? Krishna. He is the master of all Leelas. Leela means Krishna Leela. Like Ram Leela, we may say Ram Leela, Maidan, and all that. But Leela means Krishna Leela. Like Sahasranama means Vishnu Sahasranam. Right? Nobody says Sahasranam or with Sahasranam. No. If you don't say anything, default is Vishnu Sahasranam. And Leela means by default is Krishna Leela. So, Krishna, he is called Leela Purushottama. He is the master. Purusha Uttama, the perfect person. Purusha means enjoyer, not Purusha Stri that you see in bathrooms in the toilet, railway station or any common place. That is a different Purusha. We are not eligible. Everybody is Stri in front of Krishna. Nobody is Purusha. Purusha, only enjoyer is Krishna. So, Leela Purushottama. Leela Purushottama is Sri Krishna. That is number one. Who is the second Purushottama? Maryada Purushottama. Who is that? Ramchandra, Lord Ramchandra. So why is he called Maryada Purushottama? Because he never deviated from the rules and the Manu Samhita and the rules and regulations. He perfectly followed. He set an example. If you go back and see Krishna, what will happen? He is not. He breaks every 100 leelas he performs, maybe one leela, little dint of Maryada Purushottama. Always a Maryada Purushottama. Is. That's why he is called Leela Purushottama. We cannot disrespect Supreme Lord. That is why we call it Leela Purushottama. Otherwise, he is technically a Maryada Purushottama. So, Maryada Purushottama is Lord Ramchandra. Who is the third Purushottama? Okay, I'll give you a hint. There are two Purushottamas. One, Prema Purushottama. Prema Purushottama is personification of love. Who is that? Purushottama Kshetra Sri Jagannath Puri Dham ki Jai. So Purushottama Kshetra or Jagannath, that Krishna who is separated from Radharani, who is away from Vrindavan. Vipralambha, like there is separation. Vipralambha, Seva. That Purushottama is called Prema Purushottama. And who manifested that? Who manifested the Prema to the topmost? In our current knowledge, I'll give a hint. 500 years before, he manifested Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is called Prema Purushottama or Lord Jagannath. Jagannath is basically one who met or was trying to meet Radharani in Kurukshetra. That Jagannath is Prema Purushottama. He is the topmost. Leela Purushottama, Maryada Purushottama, they are there somewhere in the topmost, but topmost is Prema Purushottama. That's why it is called Prema Pumarto Mahan. Everybody is trying to get happiness or they want to love or be loved. They want to either love somebody or they want to unconditionally be loved. Unconditionally. No ifs and buts. No conditions apply. No terms and conditions. No T and C's. Right? Unconditionally. That is only one person. Who is that? Krishna can only do that. Suhridam Sarva Bhutana. Whatever form of life you take, he is always there in your heart as a super soul, Paramatma. So Prema Purushottama is that Krishna who is Jagannath, who manifested as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the epitome of love. Prema, highest happiness that one can derive is that person is Krishna. So we are going to talk about that Purushottama. How to connect, how to see in everyday life and relate to and be in practical terms, how we can connect him. Has anybody seen Krishna so far? No. Very difficult because we are materially conditioned. So only way we can see is through symptoms. Right? Symptoms, if somebody is going to get a heart attack, they will show some symptoms. Right? We all know our babies, when they are about to cry, the few moments before the cry happens, we know, the mothers know, the fathers who play the role as a mother, they clearly know. They look at the eyes of the baby, he will be silent for the remaining audience, but the parents know exactly what is going inside that child's heart. And he is going to explode right now, or is he going to explode laughing right now, or is he going to explode crying right now? Why did I say that? Huh? Krishna? Itam? We have not seen Krishna directly. So we need symptoms. Thank you. We need symptoms to see Krishna. We need his parameters, right? If there are parameters available around us that says Krishna, this is Krishna, then these parameters, if you converge, just like we converge it through a prism, just like the white light goes through a prism, on the other side what happens? Spectrum of colors, Vibgyor happens. So if you bring all that different parameters in this chapter, we can see Krishna in our daily life. Clear so far? So this first shloka, it says, there is an imperishable banyan tree. So go back to our picture. We have seen a picture. The roots are going upwards, right? Banyan tree, what happens? The roots are usually, any tree, normal tree, the roots are going downwards, right? But banyan tree, what happens? The same root that is going downwards comes outside and goes upwards, and similarly comes down from up to down, right? From the branches all the way down. So there is an imperishable banyan tree. It says imperishable. So that means the tree is actually in the spiritual world. Go back to that picture. Go back to that river bank. The tree is on the river bank. The actual tree is on the river bank. And the reflection is down. And when we see the reflection, everything we see ulta. That's why the roots are going upwards. And we saw that on top of the roots, who is sitting on the lotus flower? Brahma. He is the personified mode of goodness. Roots going upwards and the branches going downwards. Did we see the picture? The branches going downwards, very complex, intertwined. So those who came little late, there is if you are part of the WhatsApp group, we have shared a picture. So we just glanced at that picture little bit, and now we are going through the shlokas and trying to relate to the picture. And the branches are going down. And whose leaves are the Vedic hymns? Right? So the Vedic hymns, the Vedic mantras, hymns means mantras. And whose leaves are the Vedic hymns? If you generally look at a tree, it's filled with what? The maximum quantity that you can see in the tree is leaves, not the fruits. It may have only X number of fruits. It may have only Y number of branches. And the branches, you will see twigs coming out. Branches, twigs, fruits, but the most you see is what? Leaf. So the Vedic mantras is all over there in our material world. It's been given from the spiritual world. For every mantra, there is a person, counterpart person in the spiritual world. For example, there is a Purushottama mantra. Each syllable of Purusha Sukta mantra, there is a person in the spiritual world. Right? Tripadasya Amrutam Vivi. Ekapada and Tripada. 3 times the population in material world or material universes is the population of the spiritual world. Tripada, 3x. 1x and 3x. 3 times the population is in the spiritual world. So every Vedic mantra that we have, every syllable, there is a person for the not for one Bhagavatam. Each Bhagavatam, there is a picture there. We have 2 lotus feet, we have thighs, it all goes upwards. And Bhagavatam, there is a personified Bhagavatam in spiritual world. Here we see Bhagavatam as shlokas. Bhagavad Gita we see as shlokas. For every shloka, every syllable, every word in the shloka, there is a counterpart person in the spiritual world. Right? So that is why it is called Chandamsi Yasya Paranani. These leaves, which are innumerable. In the tree, the maximum you see is the leaves. In Mahabharata, what happens? Dronacharya and Arjuna wants to, no, Dronacharya wants to test Arjuna. Everybody knows that pastime where Dronacharya says, look at the tree, aim your arrow and tell me what do you see. Everybody came and said, I see the leaves, I see a bird. Nobody said that, I see the eye of the bird. So the maximum distraction you have in a tree is the number of leaves you have. So that much Vedic mantras we have that are available to us in this material world that can take us back to the spiritual world. So when we read a shloka, when we understand a shloka, when we absorb that shloka, Shrinvanti, Gayanti, Grinanti. Grinanti is very important. We cannot hear from here and leave from here. We have to take it all the way down. Once it comes inside here, it is the duty of our intelligence or brain to divert it. That is the right deviation. In roads we see what? Take deviation, take deviation. The right kind of take deviation is here. In our consciousness, we need to take the deviation and take it to the heart, not leave it here. Right? So, Chandamsi Yasya Paranani. So many Vedic mantras are available in different modes. You see leaves in all that picture. If you remember, there are leaves all over that inverted tree. So every leaf is supposed to give us the knowledge to take us back to the next level in that. And that is called evolution of life. Evolution of life is not Darwin's evolution of life. Evolution of life is, there is a soul, the soul is trying to go from one species to another, one species to another species, bird species to animal species to human species, like that. That is called evolution of life. So we are supposed to go take the help of these leaves in the form of mantras and elevate us to the next branch, to the next branch, to the next branch. From mode of ignorance to the mode of passion to the mode of goodness, and finally cross over the desire, material desire, leave it aside, leave all our false identity, false ego, and go back to spiritual world with the real ego. That's called spiritual body. So Chandamsi Yasya Parnani. And then one who knows this tree is the knower of the Vedas. If you know the trees, you are the knower of Vedas. Why? Because, like I said, all the Vedic hymns or mantras are the form of these leaves. Once you know all the leaves, what will happen? Then you know the entire tree. Then you know the entire Vedas. And once you know that Vedas, then you get advancement. One above the other, all the way up. Right? Vedaisya Sarver Ahameva Vedyo. That comes in this chapter. Vedaisya Sarver Ahameva Vedyo. There is a, what you call, staircase method and elevator method. Staircase method is, you go one branch from down to the next branch, to the next branch, to the next branch, to the nth branch. Instead of that, you want to take the elevator method, You catch hold of what is the essence of all Vedas. Veda isya sarver ahameva vedyo. Veda shastrani vijnanam etat sarvam janardana. Right? Krishna is the essence of all Vedic literature. Or Hare Krishna Mahamantra is the essence of all the mantras in the form of leaves that you see, that is going to elevate us to the next platform. So one who knows this tree with all the leaves in the form of Vedic hymns, he is the knower of Vedas. Okay, next shloka. So we may not be able to complete, but I think you are able to get the direction that we want to achieve. We may not be able to complete all 20, but we will go through some of these shlokas. All shlokas are important. We'll try to go through random here and there. So we get a flavor of Ishvara and Jiva, both. Okay, the next one. Adashordhvam prasistasya shakha गुणप्रवृद्धा विषयप्रवालाः अधश्च मूल्याननुसन्ततानि कर्मानुबन्धीनि मनुष्यलोके. Okay, translation, somebody wants to volunteer?
The branches of this tree extend downward and upward, nourished by the three modes of material nature. The twigs are the object of the senses. This tree also has roots going down and these are bound to the instinctive actions of human society.
Thank you. So what does it say? It talks about branches. So the branches are going downwards and upwards. The roots are going upwards, but branches are all over the place. We saw in the picture, the branches are all over the place, right? And then it says, what is being nourished? How do these branches get nourished? We need to water them, right? So what is the analogy of water being given here? Three modes of material nature. So the living entity, when it descends or it falls down, we cannot say we are descending. We are not avatars. Living entities are not avatars. We are not descendants. We are fallen souls, right? Gira hua vyakti, right? You generally say gira hua vyakti when whose character is not good. താഴ്ന്ന വ്യക്തി, in Malayalam they say താഴ്ന്ന വ്യക്തി, എന്താണ് character ഇല്ലാത്ത വ്യക്തി. That is what we call. And so yeah, three modes of material nature. What is these? It is the water. It is synonymous to the water that nourishes all the branch, because the water has to go to the roots, and then it has to go to the trunk, branches, and then leaves. I mean, not before leaves, we have twigs. So leaves, so you have branch, you have twigs, and then you have leaves or fruit, right? Roots, trunk, branch, twigs, leaves, fruit. 6 things in a tree, common tree. Some trees may not have twigs, small plants may not have twigs, everything may be just one stem. But generally, this is imperishable banyan tree, Ashwatthamenam. So we have all that. So now the analogy given is the three modes of nature is nourishing each branch. So the water is going through that branch and reaching the twigs, the leaves, the fruit. And then what does it say? The twigs are the objects of the senses. Objects of the senses means our hearing ability, our ears, our speaking ability. We need the 5 senses to enjoy something. If I want to enjoy a rasagulla, what do we need? We need the sense of taste. Rasa. Just taste is, just tongue is not enough. You may see a jaundice inflicted person having a tongue. I may have a tongue, but if I have jaundice, if I have some kind of disease, if you give them sugar candy or gulab jamun or rasagulla, they cannot taste sweetness. They cannot understand the sweetness. So you need to be healthy. Then the taste comes. So that is called sense objects. And what do they represent here? What is the analogy given? Twigs. Twigs means they come under the branch. Like branches are like big, and then the next to the branches you see twigs. And in the twigs comes the leaves and the fruit. And then what the next one says, this tree also has roots going downwards. Hmm? So the branches are going upwards, downwards, the roots are also going upwards and downwards, and it is being nourished by three modes of material nature, that is kind of water. And then the last one says that these are bound to the fruitive actions of human society. What is the karma we all have? Because of our karma, we have desires. We have material desires. We want to eat that gulab jamun. We want to eat that chicken pakoda, or we want to eat that palpayasam, right? So because we have a desire, the desire is stored in the mind, and the mind orders the senses. Hey, I am hungry now. Get me a gulab jamun. So from somewhere, get me a chicken pakoda from somewhere. So the mind orders to the respective senses, the sense objects, and those are the twigs. And the last one, that is called the fruitive actions. These are bound. So the intertwining of branches, roots, and everything, that is what is called our karma. Our karma is very, very complex, right? We may be suffering from some disease, major disease. Our loved ones may get a very bhayanak disease, very dangerous disease like cancer. They may die. They may be suffering. Our children may be autism infected. Autism, and generally people ask, this small child, 1 or 2 year old, he has a cancer or she has a cancer. 1 or 2 year old has autism. This child has not done any sinful activity. How come this child is suffering from cancer, suffering from this deadly disease, or suffering from autism? And the answer given is karma, the baggage of karma. And that is why here everything is intertwined. It's very complex. Over multiple lifetimes, we have been gliding downwards from mode of goodness, mode of passion, and now here somehow we are at the human form of life. If we don't utilize it, we'll go further down into animal and reptile form of life, or bird form of life, aquatic form of life. These are gliding down, going down in the mode of ignorance and passion. So these are bound by fruitive actions of human society. Our actions, what we do today, what choices we make today, will decide what is the body, what is the conception I am carrying today, will decide what body I am going to get after this human birth. If I behave like a naked person, like those days there were hippies, they were naked in public, both boys, girls, full daru and full drinking, full drugs, all the time going high. That is animal consciousness, mode of ignorance. Such people, they are wasting their human form of life, and they are gliding down to the lower species of life. So it is our karma, our choices we make today, that will decide what kind of body we are going to get next. So we'll move on to the next shloka. न रूपमस्येह ततोपलभ्यते नान्तो न चादिर्न संप्रतिष्ठा अश्वत्थमेनं सविरूढमूलम् असङ्गशस्त्रेण दृढेन चित्वा ततः पदं तत्परिमार्गितव्यम् यस्मिन् गता न निवर्तन्ति भूयः तमेव चाद्यं पुरुषं प्रपद्ये यतः प्रवृत्तिः प्रसृता पुराणी. Somebody want to volunteer? Translation.
The real form of this tree cannot be perceived with this world. No one can understand where it ends, where it begins, or where its foundation is. But with determination, one must cut out the strongly rooted tree with a weapon of detachment. Thereafter, one must seek the place to which, having gone, but never returns, and there surrender to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, from whom everything begins, and from whom everything has extended since time immemorial.
Okay. Again, it is self-explanatory. I will quickly go through. So, first thing it says, real form of tree is not perceived in this world. This world is a reflection. So, we cannot see the real form. This is just a reflection. And then it says, no one can understand where it ends, where it begins, and where the foundation is. Assume that you are in that picture. Again, go back to that picture. Assume that you are somewhere in the middle. That's where we are, human form of life. We are somewhere in the middle. We are not neither top, neither bottom, somewhere stuck in the Trishanku, right? Somewhere stuck in the middle, not here, not there. Tatastha. Huh? So what happens? If we are in the middle, we will not know where is the end, where is the beginning, where everything is starting. Do we know that what was our previous birth? We don't know. We don't know whether we had even a previous birth, what kind of birth it was, how we were born, were we a human being, what species of life we were, how many years did we live, nothing. What was our consciousness, what was our surrounding, nothing we know. All we know is right now we have a human form of life. So that's why it's saying you cannot estimate or you cannot understand where is the beginning, end, or where the foundation lies. It's as if samsara dhava nalalida loka tranaya karuna ghanaganatvam. We are entering a dense forest which is blazing, which is burning like anything. We are in the middle of the forest. We have lost the way. We don't know whether it's a day or night outside. All we know is all dark and everything is burning. That's all we know. So, can we find out where is the end, where is the beginning, where is the foundation? No, it's very difficult. Then it says, with determination, one must cut down the strongly rooted tree. So the roots are very complex, and there are two ways of cutting down this tree. We have to come out of this, right? One who is trapped in a forest, dense forest, he wants to chop off with a weapon and keep going forward. Assume that there is no way at all. Generally, when we see the forest and all, there will be a walking trail. And here we are talking about a forest that doesn't have a walking trail. You are lost completely. Manjumal boys kind of scenario. We are completely lost. We don't have any light to even know what is in front of us. Whether it's a rope or whether it's a snake, we don't know. We don't know anything. All we have is one weapon. And what weapon it has to be? It says the weapon should be two double-edged. One is determination and the second one is detachment. The two Ds, DDs. What are the two Ds? Determination, detachment. The sword or the weapon of determination and detachment. And you start cutting. Keep moving forward. Right? In that picture, if you see on the right side, there is a guy holding a sword trying to cut. And he's reached the top. He's not in the middle, not in the bottom, he's trying to reach the top. It's perfectly placed. So some disciple or some devotee in ISKCON has drawn that picture. Whoever that Prabhu or Mataji is, hats off. Exactly according to the 15th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. You can see in the Malayalam book, it is there. Or you can see your WhatsApp in that picture. So the guy is cutting and moving forward, cutting with two Ds, determination and detachment. Cutting, going forward. Then what says? Then it says, strongly rooted tree. So your weapon has to be very sharp. Even if you have a double-edged sword, if it is not sharp enough, you cannot cut down a heavily, strongly rooted tree. It's very difficult to cut the roots. More easy than that is to cut the trunk. More easy than that is to cut the branches. More easy than that is to cut the twigs. More easy than that is to cut the leaf. More easy than that is to cut the fruit. Fruit is generally pluckable. But if you go deeper, when you go to the roots, Forget about cutting. It's very difficult. At least the trunk you can use some saw and cut it. But to cut the roots, very difficult. So that is why you need the sharpened sword of determination and detachment. Detachment means detachment from what? Matter. Detachment from material things and attachment. Detachment is not alone. You should never see detachment as alone. Then we'll become impersonalist. We'll become shunyavadis. Always detachment is having a two-sided coin. What is that? There is attachment and detachment. In Bhagavatam, there is a shloka when Vyasadeva in his meditation, he sees Krishna and he sees Krishna forward and he sees Krishna's shadow behind. And that shadow is ignorance. Krishna is Surya Sama or pure goodness. So this detachment should be from the matter. Detachment should not be from the spirit. Then we'll become, if we do detachment from spirit and matter, what happens? We'll be lost. We'll end up in Buddhism, voidism, impersonalism. Everything is nothing. Everything is nothing. So that is a big trap we should not go to. That is why we need to, along with the detachment, we need to have attachment. Detachment doesn't mean immediately I put saffron robes, I go to the forest, I leave my family. That is not detachment. That is external detachment. External detachment is not recommended. In Kali Yuga, never. Sannyasam is forbidden in Kali Yuga. Ashwamedam, Gavalambam, Sannyasam, Palapaitrikam, Devarena, Sutotpatti, Kalau, Pancha Vivarjayet. Five forbidden things. And sannyasa is one part of that. Sannyasa is forbidden because we don't know how to be detached externally. That is what internal attachment is required in Kali Yuga, not internal detachment also. We need internal detachment and externally we may look like we are attached to somebody. We may be attached to my son, we may be attached to my daughter, my parents, my wife, my friends, but we need to have a foundation that says I am looking everybody as a spirit soul. That is the real detachment. Once we see everybody as a spirit soul, that's the real detachment mood that we imbibe. Then it says, one must seek the place from which having gone, one never returns. So that is crossing the Vaga border. We talked about that desire, that material desire. Once the material desires are gone by detachment, what happens? We'll have only spiritual desire. We'll start seeing everybody as spirit soul, whether with my mother, my father, my wife, my husband. Everybody becomes a spirit soul, part and parcel of Krishna. How can I help that soul? How can I help myself? How can I help my soul, my roommate, my family mate, my friend? How to elevate them, or how to elevate first myself? Hamara hagya hai. What is that? Taradesh. First become well versed with the scripture and then teach others. It's not that immediately take a stick in the hand and start hitting everybody on the head. First is internal purification. First we have to purify ourselves. And then we have to work for the welfare of others, not punishment of others. Not saying chi, tu, tu, not like that. Oh, he is in matter, he is in material world, he is eating non-veg, he is in degraded consciousness, he is drug abusive, he is taking drugs, he is smoking. Maybe, but you have to look at the spirit soul level. They are still a spirit soul, they have consciousness. How can I help this downgraded person to elevate him in that present situation? How can I take him from 999th step to 998th step? How can I take him one step forward? He may not jump to our platform, that may not be practical, but how can I help him to upgrade himself to the next level? If he is drinking every hour, how can I help him to not drink every hour, maybe drink only once a day? That could be my goal. Okay, so the point here made is One must try to go beyond to the place where we don't come back, we don't return. Yad gatva na nivartante tad dhama paramam mama. The place where we go, if we don't return back, that place, try to know that is Vaikunta or Goloka. So we have to go from lower modes, from lower branches, upgrade ourselves, cross the border, go to the place where there is no return coming. A one-way ticket, no round-trip ticket. Then finally it says, we have to surrender. Is it enough to go there? Going there, even the liberation people, if you see in that picture, there is a liberation written. Some people are looking for liberation, moksha. They just want to come out of matter, that's all. Matter means banging our head against the wall. Bang, 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 bang. If you stop banging, that is not the end of it. The actual happiness is when we turn and we try to become happy. It's not enough, we stop banging ourselves. So the mukti is compared to stopping to bang on the wall. That is the mukti level. So that liberation is not enough. That is why it says, once you go back to the place where there is no return, you have to what you have to do? Surrender to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And who is he? Why he is called Supreme Personality of Godhead? Because it says, from him everything began and everything extended since time immemorial. Why we accept somebody as God, somebody as Krishna? Because he is the beginning. Anadir Adi Govinda Sarva Karanakara Janmadi Asya Yata. From whom the creation, maintenance and annihilation comes out, that person is called God. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudeva Satyam Param Dhimahi. So we have to surrender to such a person by going to a place where there is no return, there is no two-way ticket, there's one-way ticket. And how do we do that? With the weapon of detachment. Okay, one more and we will stop. Or you want to, if anybody has questions, I think we'll stop. Otherwise, we'll go one more sloka. Yeah.
So you said right now we have only symptoms.
Ah.
And in reality, even with the vision, it is very not always reality. And it seems
What is reality? What is hard to navigate?
I mean, even if you are seeing the road, seeing
Oh, vision.
Vision.
Okay.
that is
Ah.
very hard.
Ah.
Now you only have symptoms. This looks like very complicated stuff. So how we are supposed to? I mean, the proportion seems very.
The situation is very worse, you are saying.
So how do we?
So that is why in Kali Yuga, like I said before, we have been given a simple mantra, Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. So ideally in Satya Yuga, the previous yugas, we are supposed to know all the Vedas. We are supposed to read all Vedic scriptures. And it takes years together to go through all the Vedas. What we see as Vedas today is only some iota of the real collection. For example, Samaveda has only 3 branches available. And the number of branches is supposed to be at least 108. Out of 108 Samaveda branches, only 3 are available today. And same with Rigveda and Yajurveda. What we see as Rigveda, Yajurveda is not the entire thing. It's only a subset. So in the previous yugas, they had the duration of life to read all the scriptures. That is why we have some names called Vivedi, Trivedi, Chaturvedi, right? Agnihotri. So these are titles given to people who have achieved. Just like you have MBBS or MD. Somebody who has done a doctor degree is called MBBS. Somebody who has done a law degree is called advocate. So similarly, one who has studied one Veda. Generally they say the family in which you are born, that starting from the rishis or the sages, there are usually multiple sages. There are predominating sages for each branch, and there will be at least 3. So your lineage, at least you should be able to know 7 lineages or 21 lineages upwards. If you are in Satya Yuga, it is 21 lineages. You should know what Vedas they were practicing. There may be a single Vedi. Single Vedi means they may be born in a Yajurvedi family. And that entire family would have been practicing that Yajurveda for generations. And you should be able to tell all your predecessors in your family who have studied that. Then we can say I may be born in a Brahmin family, or maybe a Vaishya family or a Kshatriya family. Just because I know my father is born in a Brahmin family, we cannot just say like that. You need to know 21 names of generations, both father's side and mother's father's side, to qualify that you are able to go and study a Vedas under a particular guru. If you are born in a particular family, a so-called Brahmin family or so-called Kshatriya or Vaishya family. So it's very, very difficult in Kali Yuga to study these Vedas. So whatever Dvivedi, one Vedi, Dvivedi, Trivedi and Chaturvedi, they're just names these days. Because nobody is learning all these. Even the women get the name. Chaturvedi, Dvivedi, Trivedi. And women generally don't study Vedas. The Veda Shastras say you cannot, if you are a woman, because you have this menstrual cycle, you will not be able to continuously study Vedas. That is why the women generally they don't study Vedas. And men, they study. So it's very, very complex studying the Vedas. So that is what Prabhu is saying, it's very difficult to maneuver. And in Kali Yuga, everything is being given in a capsule size. If you have gone in the ISS, what is ISS? International Space Station. Here you may be having a Onasadhya, right? Onasadhya with 52 items. Or if you go to Jagannath Puri, you will have, what is that? 54 Chapan Bhoga, 56 Bhoga. But if you are an ISS, what will you get? A capsule of payasam, a capsule of rice, a capsule of chapati, right? Because you cannot cook anything there. Can we cook Jagannath Puri kind of style cooking? We can do. We cannot do. Cannot do anything. We cannot cook like these. What do you call Radhanath Maharaj Yatra? They cook. What do you call the kitchen? Mega kitchen. For 10,000, 15,000 people they cook. It's not practical to do it in ISS. You don't have space to even have a bathroom here. There's a small hole being given for urine, small hole for putting the bio waste. That's all you have. So that like that Kali Yuga, all we have is everything in a what do you call capsule way, miniature ways. Everything is miniature, right? People are even gone to mini skirt and all that. You don't have to save so much clothing to have a mini skirt. That is not the meaning of Kali Yuga, because they may say, oh, I want to save some cloth, that's why I wear mini skirt. That is not the idea. The idea is the essence, the knowledge, everything has been condensed and given in a capsule form. So that one gulp you take, whatever you have to study for millions of years or thousands of years, this branch of Veda, that branch of Veda, and then practice under Guru and then repeat for 100 times or 100 years and then become a Chaturvedi, Dvivedi, Trivedi, then it really, that name has a meaning. Otherwise there is no meaning for that name. So it's everything has been given a capsule size in Kali Yuga, and we have to take that capsule. Our duty is to find that capsule and take it and start taking it periodically. Right? We are all diseased people, including myself. Everybody is diseased, conditioned. That's why we say conditioned life. Everybody needs a prescription. That's why it's called prescribed duty. Prescribed duty. Prescribed duty means what? Doctor writes a prescription. Prescribed duty. So we are supposed to do things we are supposed to do. We are not supposed to do things we are not supposed to do. So we have to do whatever has been little condensed format given to us, which is chanting of Hare Krishna mantra. It's very easy. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Is that okay, Prabhu? Any questions or
The saying about
five forbidden things? Kali Yuga.
Codes of conduct you are saying?
Codes of conduct.
Are you saying about codes of conduct or anything else? Five forbidden things are what?
No, five forbidden things are Ashwamedham. Ashwamedham means horse sacrifice or sacrificing horse. Gavalambam. Gavalambam means cow killing or cow sacrifice, not killing. Sacrifice. Sacrifice means in Havan you have to let the cow enter. So imagine the size of the Havan. And it has to be an old cow. It cannot be a new cow, and that is not meant for eating flesh. It's not for the beef purposes. It is meant as part of the Vedic sacrifice, these horse sacrifice and cow sacrifice. Ashwamedham, Gavalambam. Gau means cow. Gau. Ashwamedham. Sannyasam, third one, which is renunciation. External renunciation is completely banned, other than for preaching purposes, not for leaving family. Many people take reason to leave family as going in the renounced order of life, right? We may have some relatives in our house or friends who are fed up with their family situation. Some people are fed up with their wives. Some wives are fed up with their husband. Some older parents are fed up with their children. मुझे सब छोड़ के जाना है मुझे. I want to leave everything and go, right? That is called external renunciation. That is not renunciation. Sannyasam, third one. Palapaitrikam. Palapaitrikam means fifth one is Devarena Sutotpatti. Devar means Hindi, Devar is brother-in-law. So when the husband is either dead or the husband is not potent, with the permission of the husband, with the permission of the elders in the house, in the family, with the permission of the Kula Guru or the family priest, with the permission of Vaishnavas and Brahmanas, one can beget a child through the younger brother of the husband. So I am putting all these permissions. It's not free, okay? It's not that my elder brother is not able to have kid in my wife, so let's engage my younger brother. No, that's not the way. The way is with the permission of all the Brahmanas, Vaishnavas, the elders in the society, all the important people, the family priest. We even don't have family priests these days. We don't have elders who know Shastra. We ourselves don't know Shastra, our elders don't know Shastra. And for that you will have to do all this, you have to be practicing all the regulative principles without fail. When I say regulative principles, what I mean is, in Grihasthashram, you should be doing Agnihotra sacrifice or fire sacrifice every day, morning, sunrise and sunset. How many of us are doing morning, sunrise and sunset? Fire, Havan, how many are doing? We are not doing. That's Kali Yuga. So Devarena Sutotpatti is completely banned in Kali Yuga. And Palapaitrikam, I forgot, I know the Sanskrit term, but I forgot the meaning of it. So these five are banned, condemned. So any question? Any other question? Okay, then I think we'll end with the one verse, last verse. I think I'll tell the shloka. (19). So we'll read 19 and then we'll read the translation. We'll end the class. Shloka. Yo mameva asammudho janati purushottamam sa sarvavid bhajati mam sarvabhavena bharata. Anybody want to volunteer? Last translation. Okay. So this is the final crux of the entire 15th chapter. And that is the Krishna that you see in the picture, Radha Krishna. And what it says, one who knows me without doubting, right? We should not be doubting who is Krishna there, is Vedas real, did somebody manipulate Vedas for their personal needs, were there edits to Vedas in over a period of time, has it been edited versus being lost? I have doubt in this. I really don't know whether these are correct. I don't know whether marriage should be done or not. I should be living, what do you call? What is they call? Living together, right? No marriage. No marriage, what they call dinda. What is that? Double income, no income. What is that? Dinda? Dinda. Double income, no dinka. Right, thank you. Double income, no kids. And there is no marriage also in that. Double income means just earn khana pina mauj masti, right? Khana pina mauj masti. What is that? Charvak Muni. Rinam kritya ghritam pibet. Charvak Muni was supposed to be topmost atheist. Atheist means who doesn't believe in God, no believe in Shastra, nothing. Rinam kritya ghritam pibet. Rina means you take loan, EMI, that EMI, home EMI, car EMI, bike EMI, this EMI, that EMI. I don't have the financial capability, but I'm going to take this loan, that loan. I'm going to buy a BMW 520 series. I'm going to buy a Tesla, what do you call, Cybertruck. I don't have income, right? Even up to my father's generation, my father didn't buy a house until he had the money to buy a house. My father was a bank employee. He could have taken easily loans. They have discounts in the loans. But he said, until I'm going to earn something that is equivalent to buying a home, I'm not going to buy a home. But today what happens? Credit card, right? Bitcoin, credit card, EMI, loan, personal loan, app loan, in-app, out-app, all loans, right? Rinam kritya, take loan, enjoy. Ghritam pibet. Ghritam pibet means those days they used to drink ghee or clarified butter. Even if it's required to take a loan and eat nicely, swipe your credit card, go to the expensive candlelight dinner, where there is no light, only candle is there, you don't know what is in your plate. That kind of restaurant you go, low light, dim light, hold your partner's hand and start eating with fork and spoon. And when you go check out outside, what do? Credit card, swipe. End of the month, no money. My dear friend, give me money. Right? I don't have money. After 25th of every month, no money. Paisa nahi hai. Paisa illa, ottu illa. Aliya korchu paisa ra. Right? फिर 500 रुपया गूगल पे इट्टा रहे, 500 रुपये गूगल पे में भेज दे, पैसा नहीं है. 25th रीनम कृत्या घृतम पिबेत यावत जीवेत सुखम जीवेत. Somehow or the other, live happily, merry. Right? The car behind the dashboard, the back side of the car, they write, what is it? Life is only once. Live happily, merrily. Some catchy they write. What is that? I forgot. Live, let live. No, not live, let live. Something. It's all in these charvak types. Live, eat, live, and make merry. Something like that. Very catchy captions they put behind the car. They inspire us. Oh, right, nice. If you see the credit card debt of every country, India also, very high. We say what is called GDP, GDPR. If we stop using our credit card, our GDP will be 10x times. If you can make every citizen not use a credit card and make them earn and spend whatever they have only earned, then all this GDP will shoot up. No need of expert IIM finance ministers. We don't need. A normal therawala will do finance ministry. This is a simple thing. No credit card in life or no loans in life unless it is a health emergency issue. Yavat jivet sukham jivet kasmai bhutasya dehasya kuta punaragamanam bhavet. I am not going to be born again. Whatever I see, this body, this is the sum and substance. This material body is everything. Kuta punaragamanam bhavet. Where am I going to reincarnate? Where is my soul? I have not seen a soul. You're talking about soul being transmigrating to another body. You're trying to say that I am going to jump from this branch to that branch. I'm going to go from all the way to, I'm going to transmigrate. I'm going to be transitory. But I don't see anything. I don't see a soul. I see only this body. Kasmai bhutasya dehasya. Bhasmai bhutasya, not kasmai bhutasya. The body is going to become ashes at the end. Bhasma. Kuta punaragamanam bhavet. Where is the reincarnation? So you enjoy. So that's why here it says, no doubting. The shloka it says, you have to surrender and you have to know Purushottama, that is me. Krishna says me, yo mam, right? Purushottama, if you generally see, people will say, oh, that is Lord Shiva, or that is Kartikeya, or that is Ganapati, or that is Devi. Here Krishna says clearly, yo mam eva asammutho. Asammutha means you are not bewildered or you don't have doubt. We don't have doubt at all that Krishna is the supreme. And I am Mamaivamsho Jivaloke Jiva Bhuta Sanata. I am the fragmental part and parcel of Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and I don't have any doubt in that. Nissamshaya, without doubt. What is that final shloka of Bhagavad Gita? No. The surrender words. Sarva Dharman. Ma Shuchaha. Don't worry. You may be thinking whether I am there, Krishna is there, you are there as a soul. Is there a connection between all this? The Devas are there is a hellish planet. You may be thinking, doubting all these things. But don't doubt, just surrender unto me. So that is the similar shloka here. And he says, without doubting, you have to surrender and you have to know me. He therefore engages himself. So to do that, what he does, he therefore engages in full devotional service. So full devotional service. Service doesn't mean we go to a cave and we start meditating. We don't do that. Our service is, we don't even say I'm going to chant 24/7 today. I'm not going to help in the kitchen. I'm not going to clean the hall. I'm not going to set up the chairs. I'm not going to record anything. I will not speak. I will not hear. All I'm going to do is go to a secluded place and start chanting in the forest or in the hills or in the caves, mountains. I'm going to go to Himalayas, right? You see a lot of YouTubers doing all these things. They leave their family influences, they go. They leave everything and they go. And that is what they think as the ultimate. But here Krishna doesn't say that. That is ultimate. You stay in the current position where you are. Sthane sthita sutikatam tanuva manobhir yat prayaso ajitajito apyaso trilokyam. Bhagavatam, Lord Brahma, he says, Sthane sthita. It doesn't mean you have to change your configuration. I don't have to change configuration around me. I don't have to go to find a secluded place. Maybe I have to find a secluded place while I chant for 1.5 hours. But that doesn't mean 24 hours I'm going to go away from the family. That too, if my family is chanting together with me, I don't have to find a secluded place because I'm getting a peace around me. My whole family is Krishna conscious. They are also chanting. I don't have to go find another room, right? You'll see sometimes devotees chanting all the way up, go to the terrace and chant alone, walking, because there is a lot of chaos in the house, chaos in the temple, right? So we don't have to worry about all that. We have to just stay in the current configuration. Just change your parameters around. Start seeing the parameters in the right consciousness. When we say right consciousness, it has to be backed by knowledge. And where does the knowledge come? Books like Bhagavad Gita. We have to hear repeatedly. It doesn't come as soon as we hear once. We have to hear repeatedly. So all I'm requesting is everybody, if they can read the entire chapter, 15th chapter, shloka and meaning. If you are not comfortable with shloka, just the meaning. The important thing is understanding. Important thing is not by hearting the shloka. There's no pride of knowing 700 shlokas by heart. Maybe as a children that's okay, because tomorrow they may meditate on that when they become adult. Oh, this is what I by hearted. But most of the youth and adult, we don't need to by heart. We can make mistakes in shloka also. You can also skip shloka if you want. If you are so poor and if you are not able to chant the proper shlokas with the right meter and all that, it's okay. Chant it broken, doesn't matter. Or if you are not comfortable, leave it. Leave the shloka. Read the meaning. Meaning is very important. That's how we transmit the culture to our next generation. If we just read shloka, our children just watch us reading shloka, right? You have seen our grandmothers going back and forth, reading a book, shloka, right? They will light a lamp, they will read something, but they don't know the meaning. Most of my family members, my relatives, the friends, I've seen many of them chanting expert shloka chanters. If you ask them to give a 15-minute topic class, their hands will start shivering. They will have fever, right? All the material ecstatic symptoms start coming. The nervousness, the anxiety. So that is why understanding the subject matter is important. It's not important to know the shloka. To by heart the shloka is not important. What is the takeaway that I'm getting by reading this one particular translation? Can I repeat the translation over and over in my today? Whatever I may be reading 20 translations today, but one translation I want that to stay in my brain for the whole day. Let me meditate. So when I read the shloka next day, tomorrow, that will resonate. And you can easily go faster. So that the pace of your reading will go faster and faster as you progress these 30 days when you read. And if you are reading together, then one reading is heard by multiple people. So there is multiple vibration also coming. It will stick in our mind. So ideally group reading or individual reading, loud or silent, doesn't matter. But important thing is understanding. Grinanti sadhavaha. The sadhu becomes sadhu because he has absorbed that thing by repeated hearing. It's not important to give hundreds of classes. It is important to sit in millions of classes to give 100 classes. It's not important when I'm going to sit in that chair, Vyasasana. I want to sit in that Vyasasana in next 5 years. That is my career goal, spiritual career goal. That is not what I want. That is not what we want. That is not what Krishna is looking for. Parikshit Maharaj never sat on a Vyasasana, but he went back to Godhead. It is not important that we have to sit in Vyasasana. That is the next level of our advancement. No. If we are perfect in hearing, if we are perfect in absorbing things, if we can resonate some shloka that are meaning that we are hearing, which we heard probably many years back in that particular class, if we are making notes, that note is resonating with us, then that is real learning. So there has to be learning happening. It is not like some religious group I've seen lot of Gujaratis, right? Very pious people. They chant bhajans, do these things, do like this, they go home. That's it. Very religious people, they don't know ABCD of spirituality. They don't know nothing. Very religious. If you ask them donation, they will give millions of rupees, millions of dollars. They're ready to give. But if you ask them to understand, how much did you understand? Very difficult. I'm not just focusing on Gujaratis, don't get offended. Most of us are like that. Many people are not even religious. Gujaratis are at least on the top platform. They are pious, right? Many Malayalis, most of them, Krishna Krishna, Mukunda, Janardana, go outside and go cut a beef, go eat and go. Keep a beef. I've seen meat packets outside the temple, right? Before you enter the Kerala temples, there will be a place. Generally, we put our slippers. People put fish. They don't want to get inside the temple with the fish. They leave the fish outside. It happens in Bengal. It happens in northeastern states. It happens in some places in Kerala. They take fish, keep it outside, go inside, have a darshan, come back. If there will be a beef hotel nearby. They'll go have a prayer, come back and eat beef. So no understanding, no religiosity, not even pious. In that respect, Gujaratis are far above, because most of them are vegetarians. At least they are in mode of goodness. So most of the other state people are far below consciousness. So don't think that I am trying to offend Gujarati people. If there are people here, maybe there are. So my intention is not to find fault, but my intention is to tell the essence of what I am trying to say. So we have to absorb, understand the spiritual subject, not by heart things. We are not behind by hearting things here, or chanting shlokas in different tunes. Nice tune, right? This tune is nice, that tune is nice. Right? You see Bhagavatam professional reciters, they know multiple tunes. They will go in one Bhagavad Saptah, sing in one tune, another Bhagavad Saptah, sing in another tune. Some people even have instruments. They will sing the shlokas with instruments. That expert they are. We don't want such people. We want people who understand subject matter. Those people are wise. Huh? That is why Krishna uses the word buddhaya. The last shloka he uses, etat buddhva buddhiman syat. One who becomes wise by understanding the stuff that is given in the 15th chapter, not by hearting the stuff. No need to by heart.